You're not private online, and pretending you are is honestly adorable. Every app you use, every website you visit, every search you make is being logged, tracked, sold, and analyzed by someone somewhere. And the worst part is most people think using incognito mode or a VPN makes them invisible, when really you're just slightly more annoying to track. Here's the brutal truth. True privacy online requires you to completely change how you use the internet. And most people aren't willing to do that because convenience always wins. But if you're actually serious about not being a data product, here's what you need to do. Before we dive in, if you like the way I break this stuff down and you actually want to learn hacking the right way, CyberFlow Academy isn't just another learning platform. We provide focused, advanced courses in key areas like website hacking, bug bounties, OSINT, reverse engineering, and more. Material that goes far beyond what can be taught on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll get another strike. You also gain access to our active and ambitious Discord community, where you can reach me directly whenever you need guidance. And listen, I know that cybersecurity evolves fast, so I have made a commitment to constantly update the material and add new courses. We already have 500 plus members learning, landing bounties, and applying these skills in the real world. So what are you waiting for? Join through the link in the description and use code CyberFlow50 to get a whopping 50% off, so hurry up. First, threat model yourself, because privacy needs depend on who you're hiding from. Hiding from advertisers and data brokers is easy. Hiding from your ISP requires more effort. Hiding from your government requires serious operational security. And hiding from nation-state adversaries requires you to basically become a different person digitally. Most people are in category 1 or 2, so let's focus there. But understand that every privacy gain costs convenience, and you need to decide what trade-off you're willing to make. Start with your browser, because that's your window to the internet, and it's leaking everything. Ditch Chrome and Edge immediately. They're data collection tools disguised as browsers. Use Firefox with Hardening or LibreWolf, which is pre-hardened Firefox, or Brave if you want Chromium-based with built-in ad blocking and fingerprinting protection. Install uBlock Origin for ad and tracker blocking. It's not optional, it's mandatory. Add Privacy Badger to block invisible trackers, HTTPS everywhere to force encrypted connections, and decentralize to serve common libraries locally so you're not pinging CDNs constantly. Go into Firefox settings, disable telemetry, disable Firefox Suggest, enable DNS over HTTPS using Cloudflare or Quad9, set history to clear on close, and enable resist fingerprinting in About Config, which makes your browser look identical to millions of others. Use a real VPN, not a free one, because free VPNs sell your data to pay their bills. That's their business model. Mullvad is the gold standard. Anonymous payment with cash or crypto, no logs verified by audits, $5 a month flat rate. Or ProtonVPN if you want more locations, and the free tier is actually decent, unlike most. Configure your VPN to always connect on startup. Enable kill switch so if VPN drops, your internet dies, preventing leaks. And use VPN for everything, not just torrenting, because your ISP absolutely logs every domain you visit and sells that data. Switch search engines, because Google tracks every search and built a profile of you that's genuinely creepy in its accuracy. Use DuckDuckGo for privacy-respecting search, Start Page, which gives Google results without tracking, or Brave Search, which is fully independent. Stop using Google Maps, switch to Open Maps or Apple Maps, which is surprisingly private. Stop using Gmail, switch to Proton Mail or Tutanota with end-to-end encryption. And stop using Google Drive, switch to Proton Drive or Trezorit or self-host Nextcloud if you're technical. Destroy your social media digital footprint, because those platforms exist to monetize your data. Delete old posts with tools like Redact for Reddit, Tweet Delete for Twitter, or manually if you have to. Stop posting your entire life publicly. Make accounts private. Use pseudonyms, not real names. Never tag locations in real time. That's asking to be stalked. And understand that anything you post is permanent, even if you delete it because someone somewhere archived it. Consider abandoning mainstream social media entirely and using privacy-focused alternatives like Signal for messaging, Mastodon for Twitter-like feeds, or just texting people like it's 2005. Use Signal for messaging, not WhatsApp, iMessage, or God forbid, SMS. Signal has end-to-end encryption that's actually trustworthy. It's open source, so security researchers verify it's not backdoored, messages disappear if you set timers, and it doesn't collect metadata like most messengers do. Enable registration lock, set a PIN, verify safety numbers with contacts you care about, and convince your friends to switch because encrypted messaging only works if both sides use it. Block trackers at the network level with Pi-hole or AdGuard Home running on a Raspberry Pi or old laptop. It acts as your DNS server, blocking ads and trackers for every device on your network, including smart TVs and IoT garbage that you can't install browser extensions on. Set it up once, point all devices to it, and suddenly your entire home network is cleaner without per-device configuration. Use compartmentalization to separate your identities. Different browsers for different activities, work stuff in one browser, personal in another, sensitive research in Tor browser. Different email addresses for different purposes, one for shopping, one for social media, one for work. Burn emails from simple login or anon addy for signups you don't trust. Different passwords for every account using a password manager like Bitwarden, which is open source and audited. Generate 20+ character random passwords. Enable two-factor authentication everywhere with an authenticator app, not SMS, because SMS can be intercepted. Encrypt everything. Full disk encryption with BitLocker on Windows, FileVault on Mac, Lux on Linux, so if your device is stolen, your data isn't readable. Encrypt cloud storage with Cryptomator before uploading files, so even if the service is breached, your files are useless encrypted blobs. Use Veracrypt for creating encrypted containers for sensitive files on external drives. Understand that smartphones are surveillance devices you carry voluntarily. Disable location services except when actively needed. Disable app tracking in iOS or Google settings. Revoke permissions apps don't need, like why does a flashlight app need your contacts? Disable personalized ads. Use a privacy-focused launcher on Android like Lawnchair. Install a firewall like NetGuard to block apps from internet access, and consider a de-Googled Android ROM like Graphene OS or Calyx OS if you're hardcore about privacy, but that requires technical knowledge and losing some app compatibility. Stop using smart home devices, or at least isolate them on a separate VLAN that can't access your main network, because those things are security nightmares, phoning home constantly. Alexa and Google Home are listening devices in your house feeding data to corporations. Cover your webcam with tape or a slider, because yes, people do get compromised, and yes, webcams get access remotely. It's not paranoia, it's basic security. Disable microphones in Device Manager when not in use if you're truly paranoid. The harsh reality is perfect privacy is impossible without becoming a hermit using Tails on public Wi-Fi and paying for everything with cash. You're making calculated trade-offs between privacy and convenience, and that's fine as long as you're making those choices intentionally, not ignorantly. Every step you take makes you harder to track, and most attackers and advertisers go after low-hanging fruit. If you're moderately hardened, you're already more private than 95% of people, which moves you off the easy target list. Full privacy setup guide with configs and tool recommendations is in CyberFlow's Academy, first link below. Now go make yourself significantly more annoying to track.
Still stuck in tutorial hell. We got full courses step by step as well. Web hacking labs, real attack flow. Not click here, actually break the code. Reverse engineering, crack moves inside. Gidra open, ego died. Bug bounty methods that actually scale. Find one vuln, that's grocery money mail. $29, that's it bro. Skill goes up, that's CyberFlow. Python for hackers, C++ Spain. Build your own tools like this, that own. New course dropping every month. No content drought, we stack it up. Private Discord, killers in chat. Stuck on a bug, we fixed that.